Latin chick. I know I don't sound like one. This model didn't come with the accent. Soy Latina, but gentrified! I think the subsect of single people I can't stand the most are the partner in crime people.
I just want like a babe by my side, you know? Like, I just want like a partner in crime.
What crimes are you committing, you pussies?
Not first generation Mexican American. Let me tell you guys what that means. My Spanish sucks and my English sucks. My mom calls me and she goes, son, I need a ride. I get to the location, it's a mortuary spot. The first lady she sees, she yells at her, lady, I want the white one. I look at my mom and I go, don't go for the first one you see. Look around. They put the used ones in the back.
I don't like reggaeton, but my ass loves reggaeton.
Boom, there you go. That was the trailer for Entre Nos, Carmen and Alfred. I am Kuya P with Nerds Rule the World. And as you see on the screen, I probably woke her up. I'm so sorry, but it's my special guest. Comedians, they work late. I know all about it. I have a pair of comedians on the show. I know how it is. So I just want to thank you immensely for giving me some of your time, stealing away some of your sleep time. Miss Carmen Morales, how are you today?
Thank you. I'm good. I mean, I appreciate that you think I sleep this late, but I'm not that lazy. Damn, Kuya. I mean,
I didn't
me
mean to
right off
strike
the
you with
bat.
a dagger out the
Wow, that's impressive.
I watch a lot of podcasts, and I know I have a lot of
comedians.
comedian friends. And hey, you know, some comedians do that, especially the West Coast cats. I don't want. Oh, that might have hit too because you're a West Coast person.
Yeah.
Oh damn, I'm striking out at the bat. All the love though, Carmen.
Florida, though. I'm originally from Florida. I just live out here now.
True, and that was part of your special, which I found immensely hilarious. That
Thanks,
you know
man.
you're from Florida, but you're not a Florida woman.
Yes, very big.
That connected with me. So tell me how this special came your way, becoming part of this beloved series on HBO with Entre Nos.
I actually met the Entre Nos cats probably like 4 or 5 years ago when this was just a pilot idea, you know. And I love the producers, Victor and Edwin. They've like really put their actual like heart and soul into building this, and it's been really cool to kind of watch them build it. And I was honored that they invited me to be a part of the family and stuff. And it's rad. I think one of the things that I love about it is it's not paint by numbers diversity, if that makes sense. You know, like it's because a lot of times they're like it's just like one type of black person or one type of white lady or one type of Asian, and it's like they appreciate diversity of thought, which is why Entre Nos isn't boring, and it's not like the same jokes over and over. You know what I'm saying? Like,
oh
you've
yeah,
seen that where they just like, oh, Hispanics be like this or Latin people be like this, and then it's like, okay, did you know there's Latin nerds too? Like, did you know? Yeah, did you know that? Yeah, it's just like a bunch of whatever. So I just loved that they got that concept, you know, because a lot of people still, as progressive as they like to be, that they don't really get that. And I love that they did. And so I was, you know, a lot of times you don't get to pick the people that you do your first really big thing with, but I'm glad that they were my first big thing, is because I mean the HBO people and yeah, everybody that has really been on board, and just rad. I really don't have, I wish I could make fun of it, because I've really had such a good experience, you know.
I love that. Yeah. And what along those lines, I really connected with kind of like one of the initial jokes where, you know, you're very, you in your own words, because I don't want to, you know, put it out there like that you're white passing, right?
Right.
I'm a mixed kid myself, and I'm hella Filipino. I love my people, love my culture, but I don't get that. Most people think I'm Puerto Rican because I live here on the East Coast and all of that. But so that joke really connected with me. So in that regard, so like I would say that goes along the lines of just the representation on the special and with your comedy. Do you tackle that quite a bit?
I mean, I feel like it's not, well, just like for me with anything, is I don't like to do any just one thing. So I definitely touch on it because it's part of my experience, you know, and you know, I only had 15 minutes, so never really got to get into it, but I have jokes about like using that kind of privilege. And like, you know, sometimes like I'll tell Latin, like when I say that I'm white passing for Latin people, they're like, don't tell people that. And it's just like, why? I know it. I know I'm if not ethnically ambiguous in a casting room. Like they don't know what I am. People have thought I was Russian. People have thought I was like just white. People have thought I was Hispanic. People have thought I was Italian. And I mean, I'm half Italian as well. So it's like, it's also over the years, it's not all like it used to be. Like a lot of people, so mezclado, you know, like people are all mixed up and stuff. And there isn't really a lot of representation of that. And I want to talk about that too, where it's like, I have all of this culture and I have all of this, like, these things that are very much in one particular kind of people, but then it's also have all this other stuff too. And it's weird. It's weird to be like a kid in like a predominantly like, you know, like either like mainly black and white mixed like school, and then you're there like listening to Celia Cruz and stuff like that, and like, but you're also listening to Vanessa Carlton, you're also listening to Tool, and you're also listening to all this weird, you know, and being able to like that being okay. That's like, I'm not jumping around in different ethnicities. I'm just me that happens to have all of these like things that I enjoy that are in other places. I like variety, you know?
Hell yeah.
And I like that to be represented as well, where it's just like, yeah, it's all of those things.
I love that. Yes. I love that you're saying that, you're speaking that, being a mixed kid myself, and just that, I think it's just so important for that representation, because I think in a lot of ways, those of us that are mixed, that, you know, are not past, you know, that can that can go in between. Mm-hmm. I think a lot of times the culture thinks, oh, you're getting a lot of advantages because of that, but not really. Sometimes we're not dark enough, or
exactly,
we get singled out, and we're just like in this negative void that no one hollers at us. And so I thank you for speaking on it. It's so important. So thank you.
Well, it's also like, then you would get shit from both sides. Like, you know, white people would be like, you're not white. And but then you wouldn't be like, you know, you're not urban enough, or you're not dark enough, or whatever. And it's just like, okay, so then I'm an outsider just because two people of different ethnicities had sex. Like, fuck you guys. So it's just like, I want everyone to fucking feel comfortable. Like that's what real equality is we all feel comfortable, and it doesn't matter, you know? So, and especially that with like, you know, there was that whole thing where like everybody wanted somebody that was red bone. So you still wanted somebody that was lighter. Like, I don't know. It's just weird. And it's also weird, especially in entertainment, because those are the kind of people that will be like, well, could we get a Latin, but that's like a little darker? We want them to know that they're welcome here. And it's just like, okay, well, that's a weird thing to say to a person, you know? So that whole realm, I think people in entertainment see that way more acutely than the average person, where you'll just get somebody that's treating you weird because it's like, I don't know, man, he's mixed. I don't know, you know? Like,
oh yeah. Yo, real talk. Thank you so much again. I love it.
For sure.
I think, yes, again, these conversations need to be had. We need to be making fun of, we need to be talking about it. Just put it out in the ether so we can break down these stereotypes and truly be fully representational. I love it. So Carmen, when did you get into speaking your truth and just putting it out there and not being afraid of, you know, who you are, and then the feedback coming back at you? I asked this of all my comedian friends. They're like, Patrick, you're very outspoken. Why don't you do it? I'm like, I'm a lazy comedian. Like, I could, if you write it, I'm just too lazy to write a joke. But how did you get into the mix?
I mean, I've been a fan for a long time. Like, I've been a fan since I was a kid. And so I used to study it. Like, I was that nerd that instead of going out on Friday and like partying with my friends, I would stay in and watch Friday night stand up on Comedy Central, you know? Like, I've been a fan for a very long time. And so, and then I finally did it. I think I was 22 the first time I ever did stand up. And I did it for a year, and then I took a year off just because I didn't know what I was doing. And it was kind of like a very youthful existential crisis, you know? And then a friend of mine got me to get back on stage again, and then I've never stopped. I mean, the only time I didn't do it was over the pandemic. And even then I was like doing it on Zoom. I didn't care. Like, it's become a part of my identity at this point, you know?
I love that.
And so I can't not do it. Is where I'm at now.
I feel that.
I've been doing it like 15 years.
Dope.
Yeah.
So was it like trying to find your voice, essentially, like your
Sure. Then when you
story?
start doing stand up, everybody's doing an impression of what they think is funny or what they think they're supposed to be doing, which is what I was doing. I was like doing an impression of a female comedian. I was talking about shit I didn't know anything about, you
Mm.
know, and like, um, and just being disingenuous. And I think that's part of the reason I stopped is because I didn't feel like I was being myself. And the longer you do it, the more you're learning just how to be yourself, or in like a heightened sense of yourself on stage, you know. And except unless you're doing a character, a lot of times people are doing a character on stage too, so it's that too. But it's just like whatever that voice is going to be, the more you do it, you only learn it from reps. Like there's the only way where you're just like, oh yeah, I do feel that way, or like having conversations with other people and like realizing, oh, that is how I feel about that, and then how do I make that funny? And well, it's like, oh, I could embellish it and make it bigger and stuff like that and exaggerate it and then make it, put a silly, maybe you got a story or something, put that in there. It's just like putting a bunch of puzzles together and while in front of people, especially for me, because I don't write. You were talking about being a lazy comedian. Oh my gosh, I'm masterful at the art of being a lazy comedian. I don't write
Okay.
anything down. It's all in my dome. So if I get a
Oh,
concussion, I'm fucked.
yo, go ahead. I love it. You're a freestyler in hip hop. You call
Yeah.
that freestyling. Okay. I
So
love
it's
it.
like I need the time. I mean, when you're preparing for something like this, you
Yeah.
obviously have to be structured. But I just do that by going up and then recording and listening back and stuff like that. So that's why I'm like, because then sometimes I'll say, like, I've gone on stage and done an hour, and I only did like maybe 4 or 5 jokes that were prepared beforehand, and then the rest of it is just stream of consciousness type of stuff, which is cool for some people, but some people really like that structure and that regiment, which is
Yeah.
also cool. That's what's beautiful about this is freedom, baby. Freedom. You can do whatever you want.
There we go. Yo, I love it. Pro tips from Carmen Morales. I
That's
appreciate
me.
that. I love it. All right. So get your voice, figure out your voice,
Mhm.
get them reps in. You're gonna
Yeah.
have to die on stage.
Yeah.
Everyone dies, but you
Mhm.
got to keep those reps in, get that time up. So bringing your set to this special, I know for a lot of comedians that have been in the game, some don't exactly want to get it on wax, get it recorded because they want to be able to continue to do the same, act, if you will. So what was it like for you to put this in there? But from what I understand, you have a whole round of jokes, other things that you can put in
Yeah.
addition to that. So what was it like, for you deciding, because again, like every comedian has to decide what they want to put on wax, put into a special, and then maybe transition from that point going forward with the rest of your work. How did you feel about that and putting that into this?
For me, because I have a pretty old school mentality as far as like what matters. So for me, it was always like working towards your having an hour. What's your hour? Because with an hour, you're telling a real story. There's an arc to it. You're creating a narrative, like explaining who you are, and then traveling. Getting them to travel through like why I think. Explaining why I think the way that I think. All of these things, and so I had that prepared first, and then when they told me this was going to be 15, I was like, well, I don't want to mess up the hour because I already have that crafted. So then what else do I have that I can basically do a smaller version of that? So then you take the jokes that you have and you're like, oh, okay, well, so then this is the who I am, the kind of person I am, and then how I feel about something. So then I did that as a shorter version for the 15. And then like, if you're going to do a 30, I do the same thing. It's the same kind of like process where it's like, all right, well, I want to take these people on kind of like a little journey with me, like through my brain, an introduction and then an explanation. That's kind of how I think about it. So for me, it was easy. And that's the cool thing about like going out on the road and stuff is like, I'm doing an hour and they're not seeing any of the stuff that they can see on HBO. So now I'm doing an hour and I'm going, hey, you want to go see more? You can. If you haven't checked it out, go to HBO. And it's becoming like a cooler, my act on the road is now becoming like a long trailer for them to go see the 15, which is the one that's like polished and pretty. And the thing about putting anything on wax is it's never perfect, ever. Like there's a line or a phrase or something that I forgot in this, and I know that, and I'll remember that forever. Because now I'm like, no, I can do the joke now. I'll do it now. It's bad. I know all the lines. And so of course it's always going to be like, damn, it's not exactly perfect. But then what's also exciting about that is, sure, you could always do the jokes. You never want to do those jokes forever. And there are jokes in there that I put in there that I will miss doing that are just fun. And they're like universal in the sense that they're going to be true in 15 years as well. Still, they're timeless, So sure, I'll miss doing that. But also that kind of pressure for you to create is also fun too. Like, I'm a procrastinator. I love that heat. I love a last minute. You got to go up in 2 minutes. Okay, let me get ready. I'm ready. Let's do it. I love that. So for me, it's great because now it's like, oh my God, all that time, that time is gone forever. What are you going to do to replace that time? What kind of thought? Like, are my thoughts? Do I have any good thoughts even? Or am I still funny? You got to go through all the bullshit to get to, yes, of course. It's not like your brain changed just because you have something that's permanent. And the other thing I love about this being on HBO and streaming and stuff like that is no YouTube comments. I don't got any of that heat. I don't got to see how much you liked or disliked it at all. I get to live with the fact that it exists,
Yes. Hell yeah. And then it's a billboard for people to check out your other stuff. You're going to,
Absolutely.
You're going to reach different sets of fans. And I'm so thankful that you help, we had that part of this conversation, because I keep telling my people, just do it and just rock it and challenge yourself. But you just got to put out the material and it'll come back, whether it's meant to or not. Just put it out there, speak your truth.
Make sure it's good first. Don't just put it out there. I feel like that there's a lot of people that just put out stuff and it is not good. And then they wonder why they get no views. It's like, well, you should have put some thought into the content too. I like that as well. I know it's all quantity right now as far as content online goes, but please, for the love of everything funny, put some thought into the quality too. And that's what was great about this, is this was a quality production. Every aspect of it, they did a really great job. I think it looks great, and it was edited beautifully, like all of the parts of it. Because I think about all that stuff, when you got an anxious brain, you're doing everybody's job, so I'm always worried about all the different parts that have nothing to do with me, but I'm still thinking about them. So it's like, all of the parts were like just methodical and thought out. And I appreciated that, because then it's like, I would have overthought about all of those things. So it's nice that somebody else did too,
All right. I love it. So can you talk a little bit about your partner in this special, Alfred?
Alfred Robles? Yeah.
Yes.
I love that man. That's a lot of times, especially in showcases and stuff like that, you're just put with another comedian. But I was lucky enough to be put with a friend of mine, with a buddy I've known, I've done stand up with, like he's rad. So it's nice to be able to be like doing something that matters to you with somebody that you like. Because sometimes you're just stuck with a random ass person and you're like, I don't know. I mean, it's great, but you're like, it's a big thing. I don't fucking know this guy, I don't fucking know this guy. So by the way, we're not like, I can cuss, right? I guess.
Yeah, you're good. You're good. Fuck it.
I just want to make sure. Oh, because man, it's whoever was on the button. If that was the case, they're already their fingers bruised. Because I was like, this is probably chill. But working with somebody you like just makes that experience so much more fun too. Because it's like, oh, yeah, this is great, and I want you to have a good time, and we know each other enough to be like, this is awesome. And we're both first generation, so that's another cool thing to connect on too. Which it's like, that's rad. Because then we both have an obnoxious pressure on us from our family. And the artistic endeavors are never appreciated. So it's like, it was also nice to be like, yeah, this is kind of I hope you're proud of me, but also a little bit of like, fuck you. I'm not a veterinarian or whatever it is you wanted me to be doing, Right.
I love it. Well, shout out to Alfred Robles. It was funny when this was all coming together. I have a pair of comedians that are part of my Nerds Rule the World family. And one of them, my friend Loy Lee, actually worked with Alfred, and Alfred hooked him up with a couple of gigs back in the day. So it was great to see this pop off and see Alfred in this light for him. And it's a pleasure to meet you, Carmen. Shout out to you with everything you got going on. Can you tell us a little bit about your podcast and some other projects you have coming up?
Sure, absolutely. My podcast, it's called No Sir, I Don't Like It. It's where me and I have a comedian guest on, and it's just that simple. We just talk about shit we don't like because I always like getting people fired up about tiny little things. Like my friend Lori Kilmartin was on it, and I had no idea a woman could speak so passionately about how much she hates raisins. Like I just didn't even know that could activate that kind of rage. So to me that's always interesting. And plus when you have comedians on and they start getting passionate talking about something they don't like, dude, that's where a lot of material comes from. Is even the fact that you get so upset, like, for example, is like Chris Porter gets so upset about ketchup or whatever. And obviously we have real big talks too about passive aggressive racism and all that kind of shit. We have the deep talks too, but it's always just anything that really bothers you, whatever kind of invokes that passionate kind of speak. I enjoy, because then it's like it really it gets people going, and that, like, people, it's fun to listen to. So that's what I'm just pushing fun. That's all.
There we go.
But as far as the future goes, I'm going on the road, CarmenMorales.com for all of your Carmen Morales needs. I actually have a really cool merch specific to the HBO thing that's coming out as well. I have a new product that's going to drop. It's going to be a limited edition. I'm only doing 100 of them, and then I'm never making them again. So that's coming up. If you guys want to keep in touch with that, follow me on the assorted social media at the Funny Carmen. I'm going to be in a film. I can't really talk about it, but I'm going to be in a film that's filming towards the in the fall, and just doing a bunch of stand up, really.
All right. Well, if you come through the Washington D.C. area, I'm gonna come out and show you love.
I would love that.
Hell yeah, come through. I'm gonna check your con schedule. Everybody, you do it as well. I'm gonna put all her links in the description below. The Funny Carmen, and also check out Entre Nos, Carmen and Alfred on HBO and HBO Max. This was truly a pleasure, Carmen. It's a pleasure to meet you, and hopefully we can link up again as you keep doing your thing, and I can give you some love and light back.
Absolutely, I would love that. And I'm looking to go to DC, so if and when that happens, we'll link. It'll be great.
Most def. I will hit you up. Y'all, Carmen Morales, your boy Kuya P, NRW, nerds rule the world.
Why, hello, friends. Comedian Carmen Morales here. Please check me out on NRW. That's Nerds Rule the World, where we have a fun chat and enjoy ourselves. And then you can voyeuristically do the same. Hello, everyone. Carmen Morales, comedian extraordinaire. Please listen to me on the NRW, that's Nerds Rule the World, where we talk about my rad new special out, streaming right now on HBO MAX. Why, hello, friends. Carmen Morales here, comedian extraordinaire, on the NRW, that's Nerds Rule the World, talking about Entre Nos, Carmen and Alfred. That's my special on HBO, streaming right now on HBO Max. Hello there, comedian Carmen Morales here. I am on Nerds Rule the World. And so make sure you guys listen to that, where we talk about my special that is out streaming on HBO Max right now, called Entre Nos, Carmen and Alfred. Make sure you check it out. Come listen. Enjoy yourself. Thank you.